They finally did it. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are married. Full wedding video shocks fans. The moment The Untamed aired, a global phenomenon was born. The chemistry between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan was unlike anything viewers had seen before. Raw, poetic, layered. As Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian, they weren't just portraying fictional soulmates, they embodied them. It didn't take long before fans saw something more behind the scenes: the long glances, the shared laughter, the natural closeness that didn't seem rehearsed. And yet, they denied any relationship beyond friendship, keeping it professional, polite, and restrained. But fans, especially those following them closely, never stopped hoping. That hope was never baseless. Observant netizens noticed the small tells: matching accessories that never appeared in public shoots, mysteriously timed trips abroad, and quotes in interviews that hinted, just faintly, at deeper meaning. They had nicknames for each other, shared private jokes that confused interviewers but thrilled fans. And through it all, they never once broke character in public. If anything, they protected whatever was between them like it was sacred. They knew the cost of visibility. They understood that love in their world came with risks. And still, they chose it. The years that followed The Untamed were turbulent for both men, though in very different ways. Xiao Zhan faced backlash in 2020 during the AO3 scandal, and while he kept a low profile for months, Wang Yibo never commented directly. But those who paid attention noticed something else: Xiao Zhan was never left alone. Wang Yibo's social media remained cryptic but occasionally dropped quiet nods, a lyric quote, a scenic photo from a location Xiao Zhan had posted days earlier. It was a silent form of support, and those who knew how to read it found reassurance. The two stars went on to pursue solo projects. Xiao Zhan took on emotionally rich roles, diving into character dramas and stage plays. Wang Yibo leaned into edgy, charismatic personas in thrillers and high-octane films. Both expanded their reach and audience, drawing admiration not just for their talent but for their growth. And yet, every award show, every accidental run-in, every behind-the-scenes interaction was dissected frame by frame. Because no matter how far they flew separately, fans believed they were still tethered to each other. They were rarely seen together publicly, but insiders said otherwise. Private dinners. Vacations in Tokyo and Florence. Joint visits to quiet countryside resorts in China. They were there for birthdays. They celebrated rapt filming with each other. They showed up for family events in discreet ways. Their relationship grew not on red carpets but in moments where cameras didn't reach, and maybe that's why it lasted. The proposal didn't come with flash or fireworks. It was in Kyoto. Spring. Cherry blossoms fluttering like confetti across ancient temple paths. A place where time moved slowly and love felt safer. Xiao Zhan had planned the trip as a quiet getaway. No cameras. No press. Just two men in love, hiding from a world that expected them to be symbols, not people. According to a friend who later spoke anonymously, Wang Yibo had been nervous for weeks. He'd designed the ring himself, minimalist, elegant, with their initials carved in an abstract symbol only the two of them would understand. The setting was a traditional tea house they had visited years earlier during a fan event. Now, it was empty except for a soft-spoken host, incense smoke curling in the air, and moonlight bathing the tatami mats. When Xiao Zhan lifted the lid of the bento box placed before him and found the ring nestled inside, a silent gasp escaped his lips. Wang Yibo didn't even have to ask. Xiao Zhan's eyes had already answered. They embraced, forehead to forehead, hearts thudding in sync. A love story that began on screen had now transcended script and spotlight. They knew the world wasn't ready. Maybe it never would be. But they were. So the wedding had to be private, sacred. They hired a planning team from Italy, flown discreetly to Shanghai. Each planner signed NDAs stricter than film contracts. No photos. No leaks. The venue. A chateau just outside Paris, hidden by vineyards and thick forests. The kind of place where royalty might wed, or where two men who loved each other deeply could say I do without fear. They selected a small guest list, 80 names. Close family. Childhood friends. Former co-stars they trusted implicitly. Their managers, their stylists, the people who had been in their corner since the beginning. No sponsors. No brand deals. No magazine exclusives. Just love. Zhan chose ivory for his suit, inspired by ancient wedding robes from Chinese dynasties. Wang Yibo went with midnight blue, lined with silver threads woven into waves, a nod to their shared love for traditional symbolism. The vows were written separately and kept hidden until the moment. Neither man cried while reading his own vows. But both broke down when hearing the others. It was never supposed to get out. The video, shaky, taken on someone's phone, appeared on Twitter first. The caption read only, "You waited. They did it." It showed a room bathed in candlelight. Rose petals on the floor. Wang Yibo standing at the altar, breathless. Zhan walking toward him, face trembling with joy. Then came the vows. Then came the kiss. Fans screamed. Cried. Collapsed. The internet fractured. Within hours, the video spread across every social media platform. Wang Xiao wedding trended globally. Fan pages converted to wedding tribute pages. Artists began illustrating scenes from the video. TikTok users lip-synced the vows. Cosplayers recreated the outfits. Edits with romantic music filled Instagram feeds. The world was no longer just watching, it was celebrating. For 24 hours, the agencies were silent. And then, like a gentle thunderclap, came the statement. We confirm that Wang Yibo and Zhan were married in a private ceremony. They ask for continued respect and kindness during this time of joy and vulnerability. /N/N no apology. No regret. Just confirmation. And the world melted. Brands began resharing past campaigns with the couple. Media outlets from Japan, Korea, Europe, and South America published retrospectives of their relationship. Celebrities who once worked with them began posting private photos. Yongzi wrote, "I knew. I always knew. And I'm so proud." Zhan posted a heart emoji under their wedding clip. Even international artists BTS's V, BLACKPINK's Rosé, Thai star Bright Vachirawit shared their congratulations. But it wasn't all love. Even international artists BTS's V, BLACKPINK's Rosé, Thai star Bright Vachirawit shared their congratulations. But it wasn't all love. Some critics began raising political and cultural concerns. A few fans turned their backs. But the support far outweighed the backlash. For every hateful comment, there were thousands saying, "This is what real love looks like. You gave us hope." They finally did it. Wang Yibo and Zhan are married. Full wedding video shocks fans. Once the confirmation was released, the internet turned into one giant celebration. On Weibo, over 2.1 billion reads were recorded under the hashtag #WangXiaoMarried in just 48 hours. International fans created translations of the vows in more than 27 languages, trending in countries that had never even aired The Untamed. Entire communities came alive. Fan accounts that had been dormant for years reactivated. Editors began working day and night to cut new tribute videos, now featuring real wedding footage. TikTok blew up with reaction videos, fans sobbing in cars, clutching phones, or screaming into pillows. One emotional post read, "We've waited for years, and they finally chose love. We were never delusional, we were just early." Across fandoms, even those not interested in Asian entertainment weighed in. "I've never watched a C-drama in my life, but I cried watching that video." A 67-year-old fan from Brazil posted a tearful video holding a picture of the couple, saying, "They reminded me what it means to wait for someone. I'm proud of them." This wasn't just fandom hysteria. This was history. Only 80 guests were allowed to attend the wedding. But thanks to careful fan research and a few leaked invitation photos, the internet pieced together a list of who made the cut. Notable attendees included Yang Zi, seen wiping away tears during the ceremony. Zhan, rumored to have delivered a toast that made everyone cry. Liu Haoran, caught dancing with Wang Yibo's mother during the reception. Zhao Liying, quietly held Zhan's hand during the vows. Wang Yibo's parents flew in privately from Henan, sitting in the front row. Zhan's mother wore a jade brooch gifted to her by Wang Yibo 2 years prior. The ceremony was intentionally kept low-key. Phones were surrendered. Staff members wore badges to prevent infiltration. No media allowed. And yet, despite all this, the love in that room spilled into the world, unstoppable. The venue outside of Paris was dressed in white florals, soft candlelight, and faint echoes of traditional Chinese instruments playing in the background. It was a cross between heritage and modern luxury, a perfect representation of the couple. The altar was draped in silk, adorned with a dragon and phoenix, two mythical symbols often used in Chinese weddings to represent harmony and balance. The officiant was an elderly calligraphy teacher who had mentored them both in their early careers, a gentle nod to humility and gratitude. The ceremony began at sunset. Wang Yibo stood at the altar first, wearing his deep blue tailored suit, embroidered with silver clouds symbolizing loyalty and emotional depth. His hands trembled slightly as the music played. Then, the doors opened. Zhan walked in slowly, his ivory outfit flowing like a river of silk, his eyes never leaving Wang Yibo's. The guests stood. The couple smiled. And the world, or at least that small room, held its breath. There were no long speeches from guests. No grand performances. Just two voices. Two hearts. Wang Yibo went first. You were the quiet in my noise. The calm in my storm. I didn't believe in fate until you smiled at me during that first scene. I vow to protect your softness and fight for your fire. In every lifetime, I choose you. He slipped the ring onto Xiaozhan's finger, a white gold band engraved with the date of the Untamed's premiere. Xiaozhan followed, voice shaking. I was afraid of how much I felt for you. I buried it. Hid it. Protected it with silence. But I'm done hiding. In this life and the next, I belong to you. My home is not a place. It's you. Wang Yibo pulled him close. They kissed. The room erupted in gentle sobs. Some things words cannot describe. That moment was one of them. After the ceremony, the newlyweds walked into the reception hall hand in hand. The venue was transformed into a candlelit ballroom. A single grand piano sat in the corner. But there was no DJ. Instead, Xiaozhan sat at the piano, playing the opening notes of Untamed Love, a song they had never officially released but had written together during the pandemic. Wang Yibo took his hand. And they danced. No choreography. No rehearsed routine. Just two people swaying slowly, forehead to forehead, in complete silence except for music and the sound of held breath. The guests were silent. No phones, no flashes. Just reverence. Yang Zi would later say in an interview, I've never seen a more powerful moment of love in my life. They weren't performing. They were just being. Despite the global frenzy, the newlyweds disappeared after the wedding. For 5 days, no one knew where they were. Then, one brave journalist leaked a photo, blurry, distant, showing the couple in Patagonia, Argentina. Dressed in oversized hoodies, beanies, and hiking boots, they looked like any normal couple. Fans rejoiced. There were no statements, no Instagram posts. Just nature, mountains, and two people in love. Locals later shared that Wang Yibo and Xiaozhan had rented a cabin with no Wi-Fi. They cooked together. Hiked trails. Sat under the stars. They lived like they'd never be watched again. And maybe, just maybe in those mountains, for a while they weren't.